exploitation, greed, the status quo. This is the story of the American farm lobby and their quest for never-ending cheap foreign labor. They'll do just about anything to get it, including sabotaging immigration reform at the expense of all Americans. Here's what you need to know. For years, Americans across the country have been concerned about the situation at our nation's borders. But despite promise after promise by politicians on both sides, nothing changes. For decades, government commissions have laid out the best way to solve the problem. Interior enforcement, E-Verify, no amnesty, no green cards for lawbreakers, and a reliance on American workers to get the jobs done. But big agriculture has different plans. Now, these aren't just small family farms. We're talking about huge megacorporations. For 50 years, America's voters have told these corporations to either use machinery for harvesting or find American workers. Yet, big agriculture continues to demand and get a steady flow of foreign workers, usually here illegally. You see, Big Ag loves illegal workers because they work cheap, hard, and scared. Due to their status, they cannot demand their rights. They just do the work and disappear into our cities, schools, hospitals, and communities, only to be replaced by the next group of illegal workers. Faced with proposals to stop this cycle once and for all, Big Ag reacts with false cries of worker shortages and insists their very survival hinges on an endless supply of cheap labor. And the result? Big Ag has killed one immigration reform bill after another. There was 2007, then 2013, then 2017. Big Ag even stopped Congress from getting a border enforcement bill through in President Trump's first term. That brings us to today and the proposed Farm Workforce Modernization Act. Okay, the megafarms finally say, we will use E-Verify. That sounds good, right? But there's a catch. How about a fraud-ridden amnesty for 1.5 million illegal aliens? How about a massive expansion of a guest worker program that would literally bind immigrants to farms for 10 years before getting a green card? And they can't leave without losing their chance at a green card. That's not just cheap labor, it's indentured servitude. It's unethical, un-American exploitation, plain and simple. Big agriculture has had 50 years to get its act together. 50 years to find alternative ways to harvest crops. 50 years to do it the right way. But they'll never change until Congress cuts off their endless supply of cheap foreign labor. It's time to end big agriculture's foreign labor addiction. It's time for Big Ag to hire Americans and protect American prosperity. It's time for them to stop exploiting vulnerable foreign workers for profit. Let's stop the so-called Farm Workforce Modernization Act. Support E-Verify, end the exploitation of cheap foreign labor, and hold Big Ag accountable once and for all. For more information, visit www.fairus.org.